Some days you need courage. When we went to college to study this thing called broadcast journalism, they did not warn us of the things we'll have to do. But then again, we get to do them. On a previous show, we talked about hygiene, especially when it comes to women. And we went deep and we talked about all of that. And I promised you that women, we will talk about the men. And today is that day. And we're going to start with a question that I'm praying to have there to finish. All right? Cool, here we go. Hi, Benjamin. Please address an issue that has been bothering me for a long time. You meet a very smart man, well-suited, clean-shaven, a killer smile, but just as you get closer to them, you get hit by a foul, fecal smell. Ama hii ndio harufu ya senge kunuka kama mwanaume. In translation, is that like, or is it the so-called he-goat smell? Mind you, these are well-educated men holding big titles. Another is when your better half showers just before bedtime. And as a woman, you start looking forward to things you want to do with your mouth. But suddenly, the man gets into the toilet and comes out smelling like a he-goat. You wonder, why can't he just go poop before getting into the shower? Why can't men clean themselves after a long call? Clean themselves well after a long call. How do you tell a man that he... Let me just say this in English. I cannot say it the way it's written. That he has a full fecal smell. In short, ananuka tu mavi. So... it's of brothers today and their uncleaned bottoms.
All right, so the writer is comedian.
Yes.
But you sense the frustration.
Yes.
All right. So previously, we said...
Yes.
women's bodies have specialness that makes them delicate.
Yes.
Ours have another ruggedness that makes them risky.
Aha. Okay.
So, because we are trained to work, to go out there and get things done, that means we'll end up sweating more. All right?
That's true. That is true.
Eating more.
Yes.
In another show, I told you it's an ugly thing for a woman to overeat. I'm not saying men should overeat. But for a lady to descend on a mountain of food, it looks...
It doesn't look. Let's not do it.
You know, sometimes the excuse the man is he needs that much energy for the kind of work.
Yes, and when you look at the work.
And my mother would tell me, no problem a guy eating, if he earns it, let him earn the food. Cooking won't defeat us. Bring him. He said she was saying the problem is to eat when you're seated here. Whose food are you consuming?
Yeah.
I'm not
That
saying.
is true.
So it was her simple reasoning. Because some guys would a lot of food when people are working, say you don't want them to slow down and say, you know, you're not really fed well. Some men don't eat rice as lunch.
No.
Rice is too light. And
That's where's the meal? Where's the meal now?
that was the appetizer.
Yes.
Some guys from the Western who must take ugali with something else.
Yes.
And now we can debate about the accompaniment.
Yeah, but ugali. And if you bring a smaller ugali to go with a bigger ugali, we're doing just fine.
A smaller ugali to go with the bigger one.
Fantastic.
You know. And with men, it's the ruggedness. Many men's bodies are rough-haired, you know. And we do much of the shaving, and because of the masculine build, our kind of energy we operate with is aggressive by nature. If a man does his duty well, it will involve either hunting out there, sweating, pushing himself out there. Yes. They are more common with gyms, they are more common energy. So our space as men has particular modalities of operation that end up producing a lot of sweat, a lot of things that need cleanup. But the cleanup was not emphasized.
Very true.
a lot of our struggle, if you go to boys' dormitories and hostels, they stink sweat because the boys are coming from the volleyball field, sweating, and showering is done. Sure, no sooner is he in than he's out.
Yes.
You know, it is regrettable. It is unfortunate we are in a bad places, men, because our hygiene has been downtrodden as if it doesn't matter. The way we dress, the way we clean, our levels of etiquette have been so underrated. You see a man who is supposed to be CEO doing this with the toothpick, and while he's talking and talking to you, and he's trying to explain something,
and then it hits you smack in the face.
You know, you hear him talking on phone while. So I was saying, did you get that? No, that one, you know. We were not taught the professionalism, the courtesy, the cleanliness, the polish. It was not emphasized. It didn't even look manly. It looked like those are feminines. We still have sickness today where men are saying being clean is gayish. It's like looking homosexual.
It is.
I don't know who is telling them that, but in case you want to live like that, it's okay. But if you want to live a normal life dealing with normal people, you have to clean yourself up.
You have to.
If you want to get married, you want to work with people, you want to live in normal society. If you want a primitive life among animals, Nebuchadnezzar went to the field, to the forest, and grew hair and became like the animals. If you want to go live like the animals and be among them, go. But we are talking about civil among people. The following us should be civility, not even cleanliness. Some of these things involve civil manners, living among people.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So before we go very far, you can't go to bed without showering. It's not acceptable. It's not right. You're dirtifying everything in that bed. And everybody around you will be choking. You know?
Yeah.
It's not allowed to go there. You have not brushed. Your mouth was busy eating and talking the whole day. It has all the remains. That should be common sense. Your mouth, and when you brush your mouth, brush also your tongue. It's part of what needs to be cleaned.
Yes.
If some people, they talk, you see the tongue is dark in the middle because they never brush it. You know? Again, Mikali, we are coming from a dark place as men in Africa where masculinity was construed to mean being animal-like and primitive, and being unteachable and egotistical and know-it-all and a demigod. And yet you have to deal with life.
Yes.
You have to deal with life. And our mother was very keen on girls. If they go to the bathroom and they come out too quickly, she will return them back.
And I'm sure it was not done smiling. You will. It feels like you want to say it.
If one of our sisters went in and that was too soon, she's back. You know, they were taking those classes in church.
Yes.
And mom was the one to mark how you apply. So which class are you? She knows the class is all of them.
Yes.
Which one are you on? For folding. You're the one folding all the laundry today.
Yes.
You're the one ironing.
Yes.
You come and teach this one. So imagine if the younger girls who are now coming up, they have not yet learned this space. They have reached that place of being a young woman. So she was teaching them how to be more keen. That time, now I understand. It was during the monthly time.
Yes.
But there was a keenness she expected. And if you misbehave, you are sent there with an older sister inside the bathroom.
Show her.
You know?
Yes.
And mom will pop into the bedroom and announce to check the general organization. If she finds one out of place, that person will be fetched from wherever they are.
Fix it.
You know?
Yes.
Then they have separate buckets. Everybody has their basin, their bucket. It was very unfair. The girls were trained hygiene, and as we are afraid, just laughing at all they're being caned.
If you get a swim in the river, you're good. You've showered for the day.
Imagine.
You know, I was busy tending to the cows and then I dipped into the water.
We are coming back home 10 p.m.
Yes.
People are sleeping.
Yes.
Who will check whether you have showered?
No one.
Mikali was very unfair. Men, like this. It was the father who was supposed to be monitoring the hygiene of the boys. The mom was supposed to make sure they're also showering. But there are some things like how you tie the towel, how you do some things. because girls would tie here. So
Yes.
another boy was also tying here because they're living with a single mom and a sister. You know, men don't tie here, you tie there. Women are tying here because, and so the mom was doing the proper training for girls, which came out so perfect. If she finds things and washed out the kitchen dirty, you will do it at night.
Yes.
You got to do it. So they learned and picked standards. What happened to us? What happened to us?
Nobody.
Who told us how to clean the innerwear? Many men's innerwears, because they use tissue badly, they are dirty behind. And then you're supposed to be washed. Some of the things I learned, because there's something called compensatory learning. Part of our solution is men, because we were left to teach ourselves, to do guesswork.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether I'm soft or more empathetic towards men, but I understand we were left out.
Mm-hmm.
Men
See
were,
the way I'm trying to find
our
hard
fathers were away working.
Okay.
They were visiting occasionally. And our moms had never been men. So shaving the armpits, you see a man and the hair is even red and brownish or rusty, white, something queer, and he's in a vest and try to talk to people and entertain. And you can see, I don't know also who told men that when your anatomy is imprinted on your trousers or shorts, it's something masculine. They even take photos showing it. That's uncouth, that's animal-like, it's not proper.
No, it's not.
So we are discussing a problem that started from growing up.
Yeah.
And when we went to boys' schools, there was nobody still that personal. When you go to those schools that do schooling well, the schooling we teach is bad, because it gives you very small knowledge and makes you think now you know. You graduated in the first class, now you know. That's how your first class graduates stuck, because they believed they know.
Yeah.
So they thought that now will work. There's another knowledge for daily life.
Yes.
That makes you, first of all, win the respect of a good woman who will propel you forward in life. If as a man you don't have another reason to study this, learn it, so you can win the confidence of the kind of woman who can make you soar.
Absolutely.
So they're following the general rules. One of the rules is it's not feminine or weakness to look clean, it's gentlemanly. Gentlemen behave like princes. When you see kings, you don't expect them to be dirty, smelly. Kings are royal and polished. So as a man, one reason you want to be clean is to strike the pulse of a ruler. Rulers are clean and everything is into the detail. I'm told when you go to State House, they brush you up for free. If you have an appointment in State House, there is a place you pass by to be cleaned up. Your shoes. For free.
Oh, wow.
Just because of who you're going to see.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, as a man, I lift that standard to strike the pulse of a king. Calling yourself a king or prince is not just a name. It's an air you carry. It's an atmosphere. How do we respond to people who show up looking clean and put together? We also respond with respect. Remember the difference how you tell a person is insane or schizophrenic is their dressing, how they look. The same way you identify kings and people above the cut by how they carry themselves, how they package themselves. So one reason is, a man, if you're looking for the reason, you can't be a ruler, a leader, respectable, royal, king, monarch, unless you strike the pulse. And when you sit among men, even the sitting posture, you don't just sit. So now, you know, we have not been taught. Please, even when the other day I was going to, and I remember that day, you know, let me tell you something, my friend. That is savage, not manly.
Yes.
Manly.
That was so weird, though. Seeing you do that, I was just like, what is that?
That's how men do it.
Yeah.
When they're not trained, they think anything goes. You know, and they eat, they don't wash hands, just eating, sharing this. They share cigarettes mouth to mouth. You don't know who that is. Without training, you behave like a vagabond, like a street. When Joseph was finally promoted from prison to palace to see the king, he washed and shaved his hair, he cleaned up, he groomed up. When David was finally summoned to the palace, cleaned up. When you come, I'm training us how to ascend. to a rulership now. And the only way I can live comfortably on this earth is if I occupy my throne, my office, my space, being a leader, being respectable, commanding respect. And the other day we were discussing some mission and we were saying, I hear the woman longs to yield.
Yes.
To a man who knows where he's going, who's in charge of his life. So one reason you want to ascend here is to strike the pulse of a king. The second thing, you want to clean up, because men need a reason why. If I start saying what to do without why, they will not follow.
Oh. So you just need to clean up because it's the right thing to do.
Right according to. So you need first of all to establish a precedence.
Okay.
What's the point?
Wow. Dudes.
Our Lord called men only. Women followed in higher numbers. They did more. It's women who stayed until they died, looked where the body is being buried, came to look to anoint their body, discover he had resurrected, washed him with the oil. They did more without titles. Men needed titles to perform. So later on, that's men conference notes.
Thank you for letting me in. So the first one is ruler. Then you need to think of being a king.
The second reason is to raise your worth, to command better bargains, to ask for better money, to move bigger, to live in a larger space in life. When you strike, when you show up in an elevated way, you can ask for millions. If you show up in a cheap way, you can't ask for that.
That is true.
Indians are good businessmen.
Yes.
So they have cars for regular day and vehicles for negotiation deals.
You say cars and then vehicles. I like that.
Yeah, the first ones.
Yeah. Cars, just cars. And then,
if you want business acumen, study the Indians. They don't shout it because they're just doing their life. But if you research and observe their lifestyle, you can get business wisdom. 2 things I learned from them, my friend copied. He has worked directly with them. They always repeat. He's called Edwin, increase security, lower cost. Increase security, lower cost. So what they do, they use small cars for day to day.
Yes.
Less costs on fuel, on what? Space, parking, ease management, less risks. Because if a big car is scratched, repairing is more. This deal one, if a small one is scratched, it is easier to. But when they're negotiating deals, they show up in that space. Because you can't give millions to somebody who's struggling to transport themselves.
No.
You know, how can I give you millions and all of you to put together?
You wouldn't know what to do with this.
What you do auction, if you are to, for example, how much, you know. So as a man, you lift to that space that the Indian businessman is describing, so that you can strike the pose of big money man. Sometimes it's the look. They're paying the respect, man. Respect is paid, not just in attention, but in money. So I'm asking you up here, so that you don't sell out. Yeah. You know, even the walking gait, we change. Some of the things I'm asking men, learn how you walk on the road. Don't walk like a servant. The servant is one who runs to protect the boss in the car. I'm not saying it's a bad job, but I'm saying you want to be that guy who's being protected.
Yes.
Who occupies the throne. So the second reason, you need to polish up the manners we're going to describe here, so that you can be paid better.
Yes. Now we are getting there. Hey, why? This man, let's go.
The third reason is the sweetest, but also very personal. So that you can enjoy the personal moments with your woman.
That's true.
If she's enduring the emissions coming from you, these are the women usually, when you are done, just cover me. Thank you, good night. You don't want somebody forbearing.
Yeah.
And a good man wants to feel like he delivered, you know.
Yes.
A healthy man wants to feel that satisfaction. The woman is proud of him, and you know. So the third reason is very personal. It affects your self-esteem, your masculinity. Can you satisfy your man? Can you perform at home? Can you deliver? You know, it is lifting you from the animal, like instinct, emotional, driven, lustful way. You know, because the untrained man is not very different from a he-goat. He just comes to relieve himself and goes. And the normal way of male animals for the sake of mating, and there is no romance, no personal thing. Just come there. And although the name intimacy has been abused, some of the things are not really intimacy. They are monomacy. It's one-sided.
Monomacy. We have a new word.
One-sided.
Yes.
There's no emotional connection. So a gentleman, and one lady was asking about what if a person wants sex on a daily basis. I was saying, if you do it right, you can't do it daily, because when you do it right, it takes energy. And your life is also busy.
Yes.
Sex is not your specialty. You don't live for that.
Yes.
You also have a job to do.
Yes.
So you're doing it daily, you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
Say that the one-sided
Monomacy.
So that's that reason. So then what you have to do?
Please. Hey.
One, to walk as a ruler on the earth, to command the respect when you show in the room, to attract respect. Second one is to sell better, command good money.
Yes.
You know, live like Floyd May. They were asking Floyd Mayweather, he's called his Money Mayweather. Why are you calling yourself money? Is it all about money? I said, no, money is not me. I make money, it doesn't make me. But it is needed everywhere.
Yes.
Without money, I was myself. I've given many free charitable fights, but you need money to function. You need money to command respect. So I must put it in my calculation of mathematics. And he won everything he ever fought to retirement.
Yeah.
You know, so men need money. We don't argue about money. Only women argue. Is money everything? It's you know, we can do it just, you know, but you know, if it's a true love, we don't argue in our camp. There's an agreement.
Yes.
You need money.
Constantly. A lot of it.
You know, it's how you use it. From there we differ on how you use it.
Okay.
But our cars need fuel. Where you use the fuel to go is the difference. So we never argue about the necessity of fuel. We just, please, can you fill up? And by the way, gentlemen don't operate with empty tanks because they are ready for emergencies. And they know the sellers of fuel can go on a strike for 2 or 3 days.
That is true.
And you needed your freedom. Guys operating on empty tank. They're vulnerable, they're risky. When you grow up, you realize you need more freedom.
Yes.
And there's no difference if I fill up. After the end of the day, just fill up. Both of us, we are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I have more room to operate in case
there is an emergency. That's
I'm
true.
not stranded next 1 kilometer. I can move.
Yeah.
Even that time when they were fluctuating, I was never stalled, imagine. I never stalled because the guy who inducted me to motoring told me always fill up. Keep power on your side. Keep the bargaining power on your side.
Okay.
Told me you want to spend more. There's no difference. It's a mental flip.
Yeah.
You know. So how then to clean up as a man? Number one, learn basic hygiene. Basic, not advanced.
Sisi tuko kwa advanced. We need it.
For women who are studying
basic
4 or 5, hygiene 4 or 5. For men is 101. So hygiene 101.
Basic. Oga. Shower.
Number one, when you shower with a soap and shave what needs to be shaved.
Yes.
There are some hidden places that you need to take the washing towel to.
Okay.
Like your sitting area has a hidden place.
Yes.
And that is what the woman was complaining about.
Yes.
Because the tissue doesn't clean it well. Because it doesn't do it well. There's another kind of cleaning that uses water, but people associate it with Islam. So many people don't use it. They're not Muslim. They're not in the bathroom. They're wondering, I'm handling too much now. When you go to the bathroom at the end of the day when you're showering, take your towel there and don't use ragged things. Don't use mosquito net. You know, men have these ragged nets. Don't use the sisal bag, the gunia. Don't use rough things. That part is soft. Use a soft towel and the soap.
Okay.
And you bend well, you do it well. That place that is hidden, if you just shower normally, it will accrue a very bad smell. That's what she's referring to. And that man might not even be careless. He's just unaware.
Yeah.
He's just unaware that kind of cleaning is needed because we are not trained. This is basic hygiene and washing. Are we together?
We are together up to that point.
Number two.
No, it's just on that point. There's a friend of mine, and it looked ridiculous. He's a father of I think 4 or 5, and he took a certain pose. He was just angry about men smelling and not washing their bottoms well. And he assumed a squat position and described, if you need to be in this position for you to be able to clean nicely.
Thank you.
Do it.
He helped me. You know, some men are more endowed.
Yeah.
And if your stomach, there's also another part that is learning. Also take the cleaning there. Don't just stand there and you do. Please. Keep a shaver in the bathroom. Cut your nails.
Yes, please.
Both.
Please.
Or when you go for your regular shave, ask them to do it and pay.
Yes.
Either do it yourself or get it done somehow. It's very embarrassing when your nails are long and they look
dirty. They're just black. Like, what is that? Now that I call it out. I might not know you. We are not intimate. But if we are in the same social setting and I notice,
clean the ears here when you're washing. Take the
and
then use that thing. Either do it yourself or men have that regular shaving and they have those extras.
Yes,
do them. Get it done.
Yeah.
Although it's extra money now. Some people are just stingy even to themselves. All right. And then your leg, your foot. There's that part that is rough. And when we inside the shoe, sometimes there's no enough friction to clean it. So sometimes it gets rugged, and inside, in the bed, you scratch whoever you're with.
Yes. So, in our French, it's called mea toka.
So, that part of your foot needs to be scrubbed.
Yes.
Get that material for it. And some skins differ. Some people's skins are rough there, others are smooth there. Just pay attention to it. The other thing is, your boxers, smell the matter after a room and check it from inside.
Yeah.
If you find that it is dirty on the sitting area, it means you're not cleaning well. And you're not using enough tissue. Don't be stingy with tissue.
Just
use a big one. And use severally.
It's expensive now.
When you go for a short coat, take your time.
Yes.
Don't do it like a dog. Then it is dripping inside your clothes. And within a short while, it's smelling so badly when you're seated here.
Oh my
and women are fantasizing romantic. When you pass through them, they are seated, you are passing so that your loins are near their nose.
Oh. Yes.
One time my wife came home sick. I had to medicate that problem, by the way.
Oh, no.
The guy was doing her nails was a guy. And he was smelling pee. And she's asking, what does that mean? Does it mean it's not circumcised? You know, there's some time when people are not. I say, no. It's about when you go to relieve yourself, you take your time. Those few drops, the last drops.
Yes.
And some men say, oh, that drop belongs to the inner wear. Don't soil
it's
your
a
clothes.
Wait, it's
don't
a thing.
soil your clothes. That primitive masculinity, I don't know where I coming from. Don't soil your clothes. Use a small tissue when you have to.
Yes.
Know yourself and take your time.
Okay.
Don't come there when, I can know that. So, wash after going to visiting washroom. Clean your hands.
Yes.
Or carry sanitizer. Do something if you can't get water where you are. About the mouth, sometimes because of our function, the way we work as men, we end up talking a lot. Make sure you're brushing twice a day at least. In the morning and at night. At night to remove all the remains of food. And in case there will be romance at night, you don't harass the other one you're trying to do romance with that dirty mouth. In the mornings, because that
you just do it. Just do it. I know Zulu said that you guys need reasons. It needs to be back. Just brush your teeth.
The other thing, attend your shoes. Women notice shoes a lot.
Yes, we do.
Get good shoes.
Yes.
It's not engodita.
Yeah.
If you are not using a car, when I was walking, my shoes would get finished alone.
Yes.
Because I was walking alone. And I learned that part. Sometimes the shoe is not all, just the sole that has gotten finished.
Yes.
So do your mathematics and make sure your shoes are tended. There's actually an improvisation you do immediately after buying. If you walk a lot, there's something you can attach on that side of the sole. A hard thing that prevents the trill. So carry a brush, learn to pay attention to it. Learn pockets. I'm still trying to learn this pocket. Oh, it's still inside. This pocket thing. Those of us who wear suits, yes, it was inside. We keep forgetting. This one is okay now.
Oh, this one is okay.
So learn those small things. They stand out and they look queer. In secondary school, never used to button this. So I struggled to learn to button the last one.
Yeah.
It was a swag in secondary school to leave it. So some things I had to learn. Learn to wear socks. That KBS, Kia to be socks. There's a shoe for without socks, but there's another one that must have socks. Don't keep on repeating you don't recycle vests and the socks because they absorb sweat. When you recycle them, they smell sweat.
Yeah.
There's nothing swaggerific about, and then don't walk around in a vest unless you're in a context like swimming pool or field. Don't walk openly with them. This is basic hygiene. We shall go to advanced one for men.
Oh.
But if men master the basic one.
Yes. So is deo part of the basic?
Yes, now I'm coming to that.
Oh,
to
okay.
counter your body odor. Everybody has a body odor. You need to learn yours and counter it.
Okay.
If you sweat a lot, you're supposed to either take shower, but if you take twice, you're good.
Yes.
Sometimes even men once can do. If you shower in the evening and you're not sweating. Your life you don't really sweat. But you brush sweat it and then you apply, get some cologne or some spray, something that is not shouting. Avoid the warrior ones, or those are for teenagers. Because they smell a lot and they wear out quickly.
Yes.
Or they even change smell when they mix with your sweat.
Yes.
Get one that flows, and then when you shave, make sure they shave also your nose.
Okay.
Pay attention to it. You can also get the shavers yourself.
Okay.
Some of the things, just get that kit. Have it yourself. Men know how to handle their cars. They have a repair kit.
Yes.
That is
So have a kit for this other business.
Yes. And then finally, if you are the kind of guy like me who don't know how to keep hair, don't keep it there and it looks shaggy.
Yeah.
When you're lazy with hair, get rid of it.
Absolutely.
Get the low maintenance Jordan. Call it Jordan. Pick a style that maintains executiveness. In advanced hygiene, 1 or 2 for men, we shall be talking about accessories and how they give you elegance. Today we are talking about basic hygiene and how it gives you respectability. The next thing will be accessories.
Okay.
Things like watch, chain, tie, things like
It adds something.
Yes.
It adds something that well, you might all both be clean.
But the watch.
Then, hey, the belt that matches the shoe. There's just but tuoge too. Let's make life easy for everyone out here. And if you demand the same high standard of hygiene from your woman, it's only important for you to give it back. And taking care of yourself does not mean you're a simp. It does not mean you're a sissy. It does not mean anything. It means you love yourself that much and that you are willing to take care of yourself. Where's the cool man at gym? You're getting a 6-pack there, but then you're stinking. Balance it out.